Hello guys, welcome to this video. In today's video, we want to learn how to set up GitHub on our system, create a GitHub remote repository, and also push our code to GitHub. That's what we want to do today. So, what you need for this course is just an active email address. That's just what you need in this course to set up this course. So, we'll start by from the very beginning. All right. So, GitHub is a platform that allows developers to store their code, manage their code, collaborate with other developers, and as well share their code and their ideas on GitHub. So it's just where if you write your code, you're going to back up your code on GitHub. It's not only that, GitHub has so many benefits. One of it is in terms of remote work. If you think about remote work, then you should know about GitHub very well because you'll be collaborating with other developers from different countries through GitHub. So that means you just work there, push your code there, and work as a team. So GitHub is known very well for this. So I'm just going to show you how to set up your GitHub account from the very beginning. The only thing you need is active email address to follow up with this course. All right, I'm using Windows operating system, so I'll be showing you how to set up your GitHub on Windows operating system. All right. The first thing you need to do is to check your system whether you already have GitHub installed on your system. So I'm just going to come to this search. I'm going to type cmd to invoke the command prompt. So I'll just do git dash dash fashion to check if there's already GitHub. So if you're getting this kind of reply like JIT is not recognized as an internal or external command, that means you don't have JIT installed in your system. JIT is different from GitHub. GitHub is the remote repository that allows you to store your code. Meanwhile, JIT allows you to communicate with GitHub, right? So you just need to install JIT on your system, your local system, before you'll be able to communicate with your GitHub repository. So the very first step we need to do is first we install JIT on our local system. So we're just going to go back to our browsers, head over to Chrome and search for JIT there. So this very first link, you can just click on download here or you click here open. So this will load and open up. You're going to say download JIT and GitHub. So look for a free open source this. Oh, sorry, let's go direct from the download. So we're going to click on this download straight away. So you're going to click here to download the latest version of GitHub. As at the time of this recording, the current version of JIT is 2.43.0 on a 64-bit system. All right, so you're just going to click here for the download. If you click, the download will start immediately, like so. You're going to say start like so. All right, but I've already downloaded this to my local system. Just download and save it. We're going to go through the installation process of this JIT on our local system. So let me just open up my system where I downloaded the JIT. So let's see how we go through them all. So I can go to where I downloaded, that's JIT. We're going to see JIT over here, right? So I'll just double tap on it to start the installation process of the GitHub. All right. So I'm going to enable this and wait for it to come up. All right. So I'll click next, everything next, 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 and next. All right. So this place they say use main T as your default terminal. I'm going to enable use Windows default console, that's console window, that's so that I'll be able to use my normal terminal to write git command. So I'm just going to enable that while I'm installing this. All right. So I'll just click on next. Every other thing is as it is. I'm not just going to touch the settings. All right, so we'll wait for it to install. Then we're going to verify that Git is being installed on a local computer. Then we're going to move forward. Remember, at the time we started this, Git gave us command not recognized from the very beginning. All right, so let's wait for this installation to be done. So we're going to move further and forward straight away to the main thing. All right, we're still waiting for this to install. Okay, while this is installing, I think it's a nice idea. We'll set up the GitHub account. All right, as I said earlier, GitHub is where you store your code, collaborate with other developers, and share your code there, store your code, update it, and track every changes from your local system to the remote repo. You can even deploy your code right from GitHub. It's the easiest way to deploy your code. All right, so I think the installation is almost done. So we're going to verify this code. We don't want to launch nor fill any of these. I'll just click on finished and that's all. Remember, we need to close this terminal first and open again before we can now verify if Git is installed. So we can do git dash dash version is the command you give this particular command. Hit on enter. We can now see the version of Git we have on our local system. This means that we are good on this. Alright, since we have Git installed, we can now head over to GitHub. To access GitHub, you can just search GitHub like so on the browser, GitHub. So we hit on enter. This is what I spell GitHub. Remember the first one was Git. So this very first one, GitHub, you can click on it and open this. This is the website of GitHub that allows you to store your code. All right. Okay, I'm going to explain how this works as we continue in this class. So if it's just to sign up and set up your account. So the process of signing up is just you can click on sign up here, or you can enter your email and click on sign up for JIT. So I already have my email open up here that I want to use for this. So I'll just copy this straight away and head over back here. I'm going to paste it here. If you didn't see this, you need to click on sign up here. Then it's still going to take you to this environment, right? The environment is going to ask you to enter your email address. That's always the very first step. Enter your email. So I'll just enter my email up here. I'll click on continue, then create a password. I can create any password for myself. All right. I just created password for myself. Okay. Then username. I'm going to keep a username like Korik 15, like so. All right. If this username is not available, you'll be asked to choose another one. If you prefer email preference, receive occasional product update on this. I don't want that. So I'll just leave it. The next thing is to verify with my email, right? I need to verify. So please solve this puzzle. The puzzle is yet to come up. So still waiting for the puzzle to come up. All right, you click there, then the puzzle is going to come up. So use the arrow to rotate the object to face in the direction of the hand, right? So we're going to rotate this object to face in the direction of the hand. This is the direction. So I can click on submit. So when done, that means I'm good. Straight away, I can now submit, create my account down here. All right, a verification code has been sent straight away to my email. So I'm going to check my email. That is why you should have an active email to get the verification code. I'll just copy this and get down here and paste again. All right, once you enter that, this will uh, come up for you to set up your account. So this will help us guide and all those. So how many team members will you work with? Just me, straight away. I'll just say, are you a student or teacher? None of that. Yeah, I'm a student. So next, okay. Collaborative code. What specific features are you interested in using? So collaborative code, automated CLI. Uh, I don't need this. So project management, team administrator, community. You can just take anyone you think you like, anything you like inside here. You can as well tick it as well. So I'll just click on OK for here. So GitHub has free account and paid account. So this is the paid account. If think you can pay for this, you can go for this. But for this training, we're going to use this free account. So I can just click on continue for free. Yeah. Wow. We just have a GitHub account set up. So there are a couple of things you need to do inside here. One, if you come here, you're going to see your profile, everything about your GitHub account, right? So you can also view your profile and set it up. So for now, we don't have any profile. We can set the profile here like name. So the name is COVID 15. All right. So, sorry. So bio, you can write something about yourself. Okay, maybe a web developer. You write something about yourself as well that shows that you know about what you are doing, right? You can take your time to do that at some point. So I'll just leave this. You can add your company name, your location, and many of the things maybe Goodisoft, where you work in the location, the display name, and all this and that. You just want to remove this, you can put your social media handle links down here and you save it at the very end, and this will be safe for you. You can add a profile pics if you want anyone there by clicking on edit and all that. Okay, so let's head straight to the main thing we want to do today in this Jet account we just create. So that's for your profile. The important aspect is, for you to push your code to this Jet, you must create a repository first. A repository is where you store your code, you track your code from the repository. That means you have a local code on your system and you also have a remote repository where you push your local code after development to the remote repository. So it helps you to track all your changes from your local system to the remote repository. Okay, from here you can collaborate with many people. So I'm just going to show you how to do that. So to create repository, you can click here and create repository if this is the first time you come here. So you enter the name of the repository here. The name of the repository is simply the name that identifies your application you're working on. For example, if I'm working on hospital management system, I'm going to put hospital management system here, right? So anything you're working on, you're just going to put it there. So I'm just going to create one app. I'll call it test. Okay, repo test underscore test, right? Okay, so just going to check for the availability of this name. If it is available, it will just mark it for you that it's available. If it is not, tell you to look for another name. So we have a description of your applications. You can write the description of your application here, but it's optional for now. I'll just leave it the way it is. Next thing is we have if you make a repo public, that means everybody, anyone on the internet can access this repo and they can clone your code. That means they can download your code you have written and push to this repo. That means because it's public, anybody can access it. But if you make this repo private, the private repo is only seen by you unless you invite people to those repo. That means it's a kind of somehow saved that you are the only one in charge. So depends on what we want to do. But for this repo we want to create now, we want to mark it public so that anybody can have access to this repo. Remember, access to the repo, everything on the repo can be downloaded for free. All right. So I'll just create this repo, nothing more, the name of the repo and the um, feasibility of the repo, whether feasible or that's public or private. So I'll just click on create repository. So you can see that repository is being created and instruction on how to push either your existing code or your new code from the terminal is being displayed. These are the steps to push, and you have a unique URL link to your repo that tagged your repo name. This is what we'll be using to pull and push from this repo, right? Okay, so now that we have created repo, the next thing is to see how we can push our code to this repo. So in that note, I'm just going to go back straight away and create a file on my local system and do some coding inside there. A very simple file that we can actually push easily. So inside here, I'm just going to create one file. All right. So I'll create a new folder and call it. Let me call the folder codes. All right. So I have the folder created here. Next thing I want to do is inside that folder, I want to create the name of the app. Remember, we gave the app repo test, but it's not a must that you give it exactly the same name. You can give it another name, then it's still going to work. But I like giving them the same name. So when I look to my repo and look to my local working environment, I'll now know what the app is. So I'm going to call it repo underscore test, like so. That's the name of my project. So I'm just going to open this with Visual Studio Code straight away. So the easiest way I will do that is drag this and drop on this Visual Studio Code, and this will definitely open straight away for me. Let's wait for it while it's coming. All right. Now that we have the folder open in the Visual Studio Code, I can create one file inside here. I'll just call it um, index index.html straight away up here. So I'll just bring some HTML tag inside here, exclamation mark, then on tab. I'm going to have this. So I'll say test app, okay, application, and we call it that way. So inside here, I'm going to have heading one, two, I'll call it Git, Git start, GitHub setup. Alright. Okay. So I have this hey, I'm setting on GitHub. Here we will setting GitHub. My GitHub My GitHub is set. It's set. All right. So this is, let's say this is my application and I want to push it up to Git straight away. And next, what you can do to push this code down here to this repo. That's what we want to look at straight away now. This is very, very necessary if you're thinking about working with people or becoming a very strong software engineer. So I'm definitely going to push your code to GitHub and collaborate with people. All right. So to achieve this, I'm going to go back to this repo that we created, this test repo. I'm going to open the command prompt in this folder as usual, right away. So inside here, I'm just going to do cmd. So I have the command prompt open with the folder name called repo test, which is where we are working inside. So the first step to do following the instruction up here is the first step. You init the git in the local repo and you add readme if you want. If you don't want to add, you can leave it. Then you commit the code. Then you either create a branch or you push it to the GitHub. I'm just going to talk about this concept, if not in this video, in other subsequent video. So first of all, the first step, git init. We're going to get this. So you can just copy from here like so and paste. But it's good you type so you know better. So git init like so. I'm going to hit on enter. You're going to get this reply back that initialized empty git repo. And if you go back to the application straight away, that folder of that application, if you enable hidden folder, you're going to see git folder inside straight away that it has been enabled. I'm not sure whether I can see this enabled or what. All right, so guys, I think that's how to do that. Okay, hidden files. Let me see. Hidden files save. Let me see. All right. Oh. I just end up hiding that file. So then let me remove that. Okay. All right. So you can see the git folder created inside this work. So that shows you that the git has been created. I really needed to show you this so you know what is going on. It's an hidden file until you enable the hidden repository before you'll be able to see it. All right, guys. So we have successfully init that git. Now, this is why you install the JIT on the system so that you'll be able to init this command. You'll be able to use the JIT to interact from your local system to the remote repository. All right, guys. So that's the first step done. The second step is to add readme, but there's no need for readme for me. I'm not going to add it, right? So the next thing I want to do is to commit my code and add the remote repository, then push my code. All right. So I'm going to say git add. You're going to add, this is the next command, you're going to give it git add space dot. This means normally you're supposed to do git add everything you have here as file. And if you check this a GitHub environment, you see that the color changes to this, that you can see this color change to green. If you observe carefully, you're going to see. So you're going to say git add everything inside that you want to push to GitHub. But as of this point, if you have plenty files or folders inside, you will not be able to specify them one after the other. So you're going to use git add space period, that's dot. It's going to add everything for you. But before we do that, it's always good you have the git init file. So you're going to ignore some other things, but I'll cover it in the next uh, video I'm going to make. All right, so git add, I'm going to hit on enter, it's going to add. If you have git status, these are the important um, commands that git use. Git status, like so, you're going to see that it has tracked one new file called index.html right away, and it has tracked it, which is not the same thing with what you have up here. That means you don't have such file here. That's why it's tracking it. So we're going to commit our changes. So you to commit the changes, you're going to type git commit, or you can just come here and copy it. Look at the command. I just keep this one, then I'm typing this one, right? So it's going to be git commit dash m the commit message. So git commit dash m the commit message. Remember to open the um quotation mark, double quotation mark. So I'm going to say first application. You can call it any other thing. The changes you made to the file is what you should enter as message. So I just commit this. So you're going to see this. So please tell us who you are, because this is the first time we are using this. We have not added any configuration to the local JIT to know who we are. So we're just going to run some commands to add this. And these are the commands: git config dash dash global user dot email. So you're going to provide the email you use in creating the GitHub account straight away. So you know the email. So I'm going to run the command git config dash dash global like so user dot email. So I'm going to get the email straight away, so I can add up there. I just got the email, so I'll paste the email, enter, then I'll type the same, but this time around it's going to be user.name. Like this, you're going to provide the username that you have. The username I enter this time around on that was correct 15. This is the username. So I'm just going to get that and go back to the code. I'm going to paste it and hit on enter. So if you do again, git config dash dash global user dot name, removing this, you're going to check which user is there. I'm going to hit, you're going to see that this is the account you added. That means we have added the account. So we can run the git commit again. So git commit dash m first app. All right. Enter. This time around, they will not ask you that again because you have tell them who you are, which account is interacting. So the next thing we're going to do is to add this remote repository. Remember, this is the unique URL to this particular GitHub repo carrying the repo name test, repo test. So I'll just highlight this straight away and go back to the terminal and paste it straight away. Enter. It has been added. All right. So now that we have it added, the next thing is to push the code to the master branch. Now here comes the thing. Now pushing this code means you taking what you have down here to what you have to the up repository. So you're going to be tracking the changes from the remote repo to the local repo. That's just what you want to do. But now, for you to do that, you need to create access token that will allow you to push the code. So you're going to come down here to your GitHub account, top here, then you're going to go to settings. From that settings, you're going to scroll down to the last end, that's developer settings. You're going to click there. From that developer settings, you're going to see this host app and personal access token. This is what we'll be using to push our code. So we're going to generate access token, that's token classic. So we're going to click on here and come to generate. Then we're going to select generate new token classic. So here we're going to ask you for the node. Just say general token. You can give it any name. So you set the expiration date if you want the token to expire in 7 days time, 30 days time, 60 days, 90 days, or custom. You can enter it by yourself. Let me just set this. Let me set this to 30 days. After 30 days, it will expire. That will be on February 29, 2024. It will expire. So you're going to set some permissions to this token, like repo permissions. You can check the status of the repo, then repo deployment, public repo, invite, and many other things. Workflow. I'm just going to enable this. Write package, delete package. So based on what you want the token to do and who is using the token, you can know which permission you want to set for this particular repo, right? So this is just what we have. So I'll just leave this like this, and I'm going to generate the access token. Remember, once you see this token like this, you have to copy it, because if you come back here, you're not going to see it again. You have to generate a new one. So I'll just copy this and open a new place. I'm going to open Notepad and paste it down there so I can use it. All right. Okay. That is my token. The access token is like a password that you make use of to access your account. So I'm going to also copy this username because I'll be needing these two things when I'm pushing the code. So I have all of them in Notepad. So I can now go back to push my code. For that, I can go back to my repo. So can look for repository. If you didn't see it down here, you can come down here and look for your repo and click it there. It's going to take you to your repo. This is the only repo you have for now, and if you click it, there's nothing inside there for now. You're still in the process to push the code to the repo. So now I can now push this code to my repo. So for me to push, I'm going to go back to that terminal and I will keep this command git. Remember that we added origin. Origin is like a name that takes care of this URL so that every time we want to push, we'll not look for the URL. Instead, we're going to call this name. So we're going to say push, then the name, which is the URL, then the branch. That's what we call branch. Branch is the where you want to store your code, which segment you want to store your code. I'm going to talk about that one in the upcoming video. So git push origin master. So we are pushing the red to master. I'll I'll discuss about branch as we continue. So I can see that I'm typing 2 git. So let me delete one. All right. So if I hit on enter, I'll be asked to provide my username. And remember, you need to be connected to the internet before you'll be able to push this. I'll be asked for this because this is the very first time I want to access this. All right. So sign in with J, sign in with a code, or sign in with your browser, right? Personal access token. So that access token, I'm going to make use of it here. I copy it. I'm just going to copy this. If you want to enter your password, support for password has been removed. So I'll just paste this. If I go back to my code, I'm just going to wait for it. You can see that my code is pushed automatically once I enter that token. So it shows that my code is pushed. So if we go back to the repository again and refresh it, we're going to see that our repo is having one file index.html, and this is our local repo index.html. If I click on it and open, we're going to see that it's exactly what we have up here is what we have here. Now, if I make changes like, oh, I add another paragraph like the code is GitHub account will be set soon. GitHub account will be set soon. Right away, you're going to see this green line is just the JIT tracking the changes you made on this local repo that is not in line with the remote repository. So to still update this code to be the same thing with what you have here, you need to go back to the terminal again, right? And go and do, if I do git status here again, you're going to see that there's changes. I've modified something. So I'm still going to do git add space dot and enter. Then I'm still going to do git commit dash m, then added a paragraph like so. So now I can push the code. I can now do this time around. I'll just do git push origin master straight away. So if I enter like so, it will push automatically for me because I've already set my token right on the header. So if we go back to the repository and refresh this again, we're going to see that the changes I made here has been updated. So this is all about GitHub. GitHub, it helps you to track your code from your local system with the one you have on the Git repo. From here, you can deploy your code. You can share this code to anybody. Anybody can also collaborate with you if you want the person to work with you in this project. So this is how it works, and that's all about GitHub, guys. I believe you enjoyed the lectures. If you found these lectures useful, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, and also subscribe to our channel to see more of these videos. Now, let me give us a recap of everything we have done. First of all, we installed Git on our local system. After installing Git, we now created GitHub account. After creating GitHub account, we set up repository with the name repo test, and we return back to our local system to create a new file and init GitHub on it. After initting Git on it, we push and add that repository we just created and push it up to Git. And this is what we do all. So when once you set up this your uh, GitHub repository the first time as we did like this, you will only be pushing your changes in only three steps. The first step is this. I'm just going to write it here. The first step is to see the changes you have made. You do git status, then you're going to see all the changes you have made on your local system. Then to add them, you're going to do git add, right, space dot is going to add all your changes. Then git commit git commit git commit dash m, then the commit message, changes made. The changes you have made, you're going to explain the changes you have made there. then git push. Git push straight away master origin. This is the steps you use. Definitely, this one is not necessary or mandatory. This first one, unless you want to see, this is only the three steps you use in pushing your code to GitHub after you have set up the um, repository and your local repo. So after this, if you create another new project, right, brand new one, you need to pass through all the phases we passed through before. That is creating a new repository. After creating new repository, you init the local repository on your project, then you add origin, commit again, then before you can push. That's how it works on new repo. But if it is existing repo like this, then you are just making changes. This is the only thing you do. Guys, I believe you understand this. If you have any question or confusion, or you want me to make any special video, you can drop comment on the comment section below, or and we will answer you speedily. Remember to subscribe to our channel to see more of this video. See you guys in the next video.